Hello folks, back out in the garage again today. Today I'm going to try to weld up all those spot welds on the back side of that bed rail panel, and if I have time I'm going to also try to start working on those holes in the rocker panels over there that they're in the door jamb, and see if I can at least get some patches made for that. So I'll get busy and bring you along for the ride. Before I forget, I wanted to give a shout out to my neighbor Jared next door. He's the one that gave me this panel for the bed back there, and I'll be honest with you, had I not had that, I don't know that I could have made such pretty patch panels and been as successful with that as I was. And I'm also going to be using this panel for donor metal for other patches and over there on the rocker panels, and like rocker panel over there, but possibly even the cab corners if it turns out that I can actually do something with them. Anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Jared. I sure appreciate the thought of bringing that to me, knowing that I was going to be restoring this truck. Like I said, I probably couldn't have got this done as quick and as nice as I did. I sure appreciate it. Okay, I'm back here getting ready to start on this, and I wanted to show you something. I had mentioned the other day that the inner panel underneath these panels that I've got welded in here didn't come down far enough. Here you can see this hole here is pretty close to the bottom of this panel, and it's covering it fine right there. Hope you can see that. And then as you move down, then that happened. You see the gap, and it just keeps that trend up all the way down. I can't quite lean far enough to get you in to see that, but it gets even greater in areas down towards towards the front of the truck. So that's going to pose a little bit of a problem, but I'm sure that I can fix it with welding them, and then possibly straightening them out, and then putting a little bit of filler in it, and then do a lot of sanding, I guess. I forgot that I have to fix this part here, which I have this piece down here to do that with. And I just noticed, I didn't notice it before, but back here also, that means I'm going to have to get the tailgate down and work on that. So I'll get busy and see how far I get. Okay, I got all the welding done on this thing. I'm going to bring you in and show you what I got before I grind it off. I also got the two little pieces of the back panels made that needed to replace those rust holes. So I'll bring you in, turn you around and show you what it looks like. That's where the one was. There was a bunch of rust holes. I've made the panel, a little panel there, and drilled 2 holes so I use a spot weld, and then welded it around here. It wasn't, originally there was no weld here at the end, so I left that like it was. Same as the bottom, I didn't weld that. But welded it at the top, put 2 spot welds in, and then welded it to this panel here. Then we got all of the spot weld holes that I drilled before in the original panel, and got them all welded up. I got this piece here made and welded in. It looks like, now that I'm looking at it with the camera, I might have missed a little bit there. I have to find out when I grind it down. But everything is welded up. So I'm going to grind it down. Hopefully it looks good so that I can get started on that rocker panel. Okay, got it ground down. Some of them didn't turn out too bad. Some of them didn't turn out too good at all, but the welds are filled. I mean, the holes are filled, but they will need a little bit of body filler in order to make it look pretty, but skim coat should take care of it. The only problem I see is right back here on this back patch. I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but from here to about here, it's pulled out this way. So I'll probably have to take a hammer and a dolly and pull that back in so that the line is pretty straight. But other than that, and it's the inner and the outer panel is the problem. It's not just the outer panel, because I pulled them all up, as you saw, with vice grips to weld them in place. Okay, well, as you saw, I got the welding done on those back panels back there. Now I'm going to move on to the rocker panel over on the passenger side and see if I can figure out how much metal I'm going to need for that. Not sure that I'm going to bring in for that, but I'll try. I'm having a little trouble with my phones today. For some reason, they want to stop recording all of a sudden for some reason. I'm not a tech guy. But what I was going to say is I probably put some primer on this thing, even if I brush it on the back here, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to paint this thing or put any more, put the fill primer on, start doing the body work. You can't really do body filler and stuff with it real cold. So today is not a bad day, but I'm not ready. I did, however, in the last video, I think it was, maybe the one before that, I mentioned that my source for the paint for the truck, the red paint, the Regal Red from Rust-Oleum, was out of it, but I know I been keeping watch on it, and come to find out that they got a bunch of it in, so I went and picked some up. So I've got the paint. I just need to get the fill primer, the sandable high build primer, and do the body work first, and then get it as straight as I can, put the fill primer on, and then sand it down, and hopefully everything will be good, and then I'll be able to go ahead and put the red on it. But for now, I've got a lot of work to do before I get to that point. So let me get busy, and I'll like I said, I'll try to bring you in working on that rocker panel over there. But it's a pretty tight area over there, so we'll see what happens. I'm over here at the rocker panel, and I've got to pull this piece of plastic here off. It runs from right up here all the way back to here, up to here. It's got 3 screws in it from what I can tell. One there, one right there, and one way up there. These two, especially this one here in the front, are really rusty and full of dirt. I'm hoping that the hammer and screwdriver, I can get it out. This one probably back here probably won't be quite so bad, but it doesn't look real pretty either. But anyway, this has got to come off, and then this rubber gasket's got to come off, and I'm believing that there's supposed to be a lip here that this gasket sits on, and I believe that a good bit of it is rotted off, that lip. I can get my finger all the way up in there, and I'm hoping that once I get that off and I lift the mat up a little bit, that I don't find that it's all rusted up in there. I hope not, but I'll bring you back and show you what I got if I can get it off. Well, I got it off. I feel like one of them metal detecting videos. There's a penny. There's another penny. What else might we find? Oh, what's that? That's an earring with 2 fish. I wonder if my mother-in-law, or I'm sorry, stepmother, lost that at one time. What is that? Okay, it's trash. I don't remember dropping that. But that's interesting right there. That's kind of pretty. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull this stuff up and see what we got underneath it. Okay, as I suspected, the lip here that you see here is gone over here. So it's pretty much rotted all the way from here. Let me try to get my fingers out of the way. Here, all the way over to here. I'd probably have to cut back. So, but one of the disappointing things, this truck has been sitting in this garage now for, oh my goodness, since end of November, I believe. And this area up in here is just totally waterlogged, water soaked. Fortunately, it's all solid. The paint, there's definitely rust underneath the paint, but it's all solid. I got lucky there. I just gotta see what it looks like underneath all this. It still feels pretty solid. There's a hole. Just made a hole right there. There is some rust there. I'll definitely have to get in there and do some what do you call it, preventive maintenance. I don't think that that's a hole big enough to worry about welding, but I don't know, there might not be a whole lot of stuff up in here to weld this to, so I gotta take the wire brush to it, I guess, and see what I have. Okay, after looking at this rocker panel a little closer, I'm going to have to get the vacuum cleaner in here and clean all that out. And then I think before I even try to start making any sparks, welding or cutting and grinding, whatever I got to do down in there, I've got to get the cab cleaned out. In other words, I got to get some help and get the seat out, get the old floor mat out, and see what I've got. I don't want to do this thing twice, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and call it a day for today, and enlist some help. Maybe tomorrow, we'll have to see, but to get the seat out and everything out and boxed up and put away, I've got my man cave in there where I can kind of store some stuff at, and put it all in there for now so that it's out of the way and won't catch fire or get damaged in some other way. And that way I can see everything that I've got. Whatever's there is there, and then address it all at one time and get it all done. So I guess now that the bed rail's done, we're moving on to the rocker panel and then into the cab corners. But rocker panel first, and then whatever else we find inside the truck. Like I noticed there was one small hole, and typically when you have water standing that long, there's a good chance there's going to be other stuff. So what I'll do is, after I get everything cleaned out, I'll get in there with the surface conditioning tool and clean everything down to bare metal, and then prime it, paint it, even if I have to go and buy a couple of spray bombs of the Regal Red, Rust-Oleum Regal Red, and paint all that up so that at least that part of it's done. I can then close the door and work on the rest of it. So I'm going to call it a day for today. I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, and I hope you have a wonderful day.